Hello all, and welcome to a Thursday night beer review, which I am dubbing the I don't know, beer review. I usually I just when I say I'm dubbing this thing, I usually just go off like the top of my head. Like I don't think in advance of like what I'm going to dub the video. I just the first thought that enters my head is the thing that I usually say, and sometimes I can't think of something. I blank out. So yeah, so I'm going to dub this video the video in which I explain how I dub videos. In dub meaning not subtitling like down here, but dubbing as in I dub the. Okay, I'm probably just showing what a weirdo I am. Okay, so what are we reviewing tonight? Well, last week I was at Tamura's. I hadn't been there for like a month or so, and I noticed they had the Sierra Nevada Oktoberfest beer. And interestingly, instead of a Marzen, which it usually is, it's actually in the Festbier style. And I grabbed one sixer of it, and I so thoroughly enjoyed it. I only meant to like drink one test can and then drink another and do the review, that I ended up drinking it on other nights when I wasn't planning on doing reviews because I really did enjoy it. So I only have the two cans left, and I went to Tamura's today and it was already gone. It was bye bye, which was sad because I really enjoyed it. But that kind of left me with a sort of conundrum in doing this review, and I'm going to kind of discuss that as we go into the review. So, this is 6.0 ABV, and as for most Oktoberfests, this was brewed in collaboration with Kehrwieder Brewery in Germany. I've never heard of them before. Probably never will hear of them again. We don't get very many German beers here in Hawaii. And I'd like to just kind of digress for a moment and sort of discuss why I don't review as many Sierra Nevada beers before. I used to review bunches of them because they were so easily had. And the thing is, Sierra Nevada beers are still pretty easily had. You can go to any supermarket, you can go to like a gas station and find them in Hawaii. But the thing is, the only things that you can find are their year-round flagship beers. It's getting very hard to go and find their seasonals, their specials, their one-offs. I can't find Beer Camp anymore for the life of me. I'm not sure if it's even being released anymore because I don't really follow beer news super closely. I Google beer news as needed. And if it is, it's either being brought into Hawaii in such low numbers that it sells out before I get to it because I don't live at the bottle shop like a lot of other, aficionados of this do. So yeah, so it was kind of surprising when I was able to go and get one of their seasonals to review. I can't even find like Bigfoot or like Narwhal anymore. That's how bad it is. I can, however, find umpty million hard seltzers, hard iced teas, other things that I have zero interest in reviewing. Sad times. Sad times. So it's almost 3 minutes in. I haven't opened the can yet. Some of the other guys who do videos, I don't know how they do it, but they knock out their entire review in 5 minutes and have it be just absolutely complete. Sometimes I'll ramble for like 20 minutes and feel like I have more to talk about, but it's like nobody's going to watch 30 minutes of a guy talking about a single beer. So yeah, let's just get straight to this. So like I said, Festbier, aka Weissen style, not Weizen like in wheat, but Weissen like in meadow. I discussed that in another earlier video. So this is a style that replaced Marzen at most of the Bavarian Oktoberfests. And I just dripped all over my pants. Wonderful. Yeah, no wonder I didn't crack it open all the way, so well, it's not that much, just a few drops. So it's a little bit dark for the style, sort of a copper yellow color. with a thick off-white head and sort of billowing carbonation. See, pretty well carbonated there visually. Yeah. So I let this sit out for about 10 minutes. I wanted to, it's a little bit closed up cold, as most beers are. So what gets me is, yeah, you're getting a lot of that Festbier style, breadiness, graininess. But there's also a strong New World hop element there on top of that as part of the bouquet. You're getting some hints of grapefruit and pine, and not just, the more floral, um, herbal notes. So yeah, you definitely get some New World style hopping in the nose. Going on to the palate, yeah, you get this wonderful breadiness up front, thick, robust kind of maltiness. But in the midst, hopping emerges, hopping that's um, pretty apparent, both in the bitterness and in the top note. Again, some of that sort of grapefruit slash citrus zest, slight hint of pine in the top note, along with the maltiness. And when it finishes clean, as a lager should, but with just a slight residual ghost of hot bitterness on remaining in the long finish on the palate. So not 100% clean finish, but clean finish in regards to the malt and basically most of the hopping. So my issue with this here is that I really, really enjoy this, but the hopping is just almost a bit too much to really say that it's too style. You know what I'm, if you know what I'm getting at. With the Festbier style, much like the Marzen style, it is supposed to be a malt show. It's not supposed to be a hop show. It's not even really supposed to be kind of an interplay of those two aspects. It's supposed to be you're getting those bready malts, that richness, maybe touches of toastiness or nuttiness, what have you. But you're not supposed to get really strong hop notes either in the nosing or in the palate. Now, by no means is this like very, very heavily hopped. I mean, for the style. A pale ale has more hopping than this. If you're drinking a pale ale, but it is more hop than I think is for style for the fest beer. Issue being here that I really, really like this. It's great beer. The malting would be almost too rich, too sweet, without that stiffer hoppiness to it. So it's kind of a quandary, you know. Like I said, I really wanted the second sixer of it. That's how much I liked it. You when I say I want to go and get a second sixer of this, that means I really like this, and I would include it on a regular rotation if I could. That said, I honestly for the life of me can't say, oh yeah, this is a great example of the Festbier style. It is not very representative of the style. That said, it's a great tasting, well balanced beer. You know, um, when I had the first can, like the first few sips in, especially when it was cold, I was like, man, this has got way too much of that New World style hopping. That intense bitterness that clings to the palate, those certain aromatic notes. But then as it warmed up and as I drank more of it, it really just started working for me. Now, Fest beer really isn't like one of those very narrowly defined styles. It's a new style. Extremely new if we're going by German beer standards, being introduced in the 1980s. German beer culture being exceedingly conservative. I mean, in the sense of brewing, not politically conservative, but conservative in like how they make beers. So we're left with this, and you know, I'm going to say that yes, it is a fest beer because, like I said, it's fairly new style, relatively speaking, and it's not like a strictly defined style like a Marzen or a Pilsner would be. Um, but yeah, if you can find this, definitely give it a shot. This is like, and I'm going to go and be honest here. Like looking at the reviews online, it's been a fairly polarizing beer. A lot of people really hated this, and a lot of people said, "Oh, this is like the best Oktoberfest collab that they've done since the first one." I didn't have the first one, so I can't really vouch for how good it is in relation to that. That was before I got into rating beers heavily on the internet. Um, but yeah, this is a damn good beer, and once it's gone, it's gone. So if you find it on the shelves, snag it. You may not like it, but you may really, really like it. So, Sierra Nevada Oktoberfest Fest beer, brewed in collaboration with Kehrwieder. 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 I mangled German pronunciation. Kehrwieder Brewery in Germany. Yeah, give it a shot. You may hate it, you may love it. And that is your beer review for this evening. Roast.